The View is getting a cancellation notice by none other than one Rosie O'Donnell. Rosie O'Donnell, who used to work at The View, apparently twice. I didn't realize that. I knew she was there like once, but she apparently was there twice. So she did a couple of rounds, which she mentions in this TikTok post that she put up, guys. And she's telling them, look, you're out and you may not know it now, but here, I'm going to prep you for what's coming down the pike, because what they're doing in this moment in time is they're just trying to tell you, oh, things are being looked at. They are being reviewed. And then she said they're going to drop the hammer. And this is something I've been saying for a while. I think for different reasons. I just think that this show is too expensive to produce and you get too many high salaries, and they haven't been able to kind of catch on within the sort of streaming world. They're trying. They've got like a weekend edition of The View that streams now, where they're trying to do more entertainment topics. It took Whoopi a while before she agreed to even do that, in part perhaps because she simply wanted more money. So if they're paying her more money, again, they're looking at this and going, oh my gosh, can we really swing it? Rosie told them, look, you guys are getting canceled. She said they're reviewing the liberal bias on The View, which means, quote, it's code for, and I'm going to go to her statement here, it's code for, we're going to cancel it. We're going to cancel The View. We're just trying to soften you up first. And then she's like ranting. It's like a 4-page thing. I won't bore you with all of it, but she goes on and on and on about how you're trying to silence women. You're trying to silence a whole group of women who are speaking the truth. And of course, we know that's not to be the case because they have promoted all kinds of lies, including lies direct from Hillary Clinton's mouth about Russia, Russia, Russia. All this is coming out now. Brendan Carr is citing it. But you know what? I'm not surprised. And I don't think they're surprised on The View either. I think they were worried about this. They're going to blame Donald Trump. I'm going to just blame the economics of the situation. In other words, the show doesn't make enough money to support all of the people that have to work on it. You're talking a live studio audience. You're talking about the person who tells everybody when to clap. I mean, they actually hold up signs and they say clap and they say, laugh. And this is like a job in and of itself. They have to have somebody to literally book the audience, right? Because you got to get people in there to watch The View. There's a whole bunch of things that they have to do. So it doesn't surprise me that ABC will look to pull the plug right now, because it's not economical. It really isn't. And Joy and Rachel Maddow, interestingly, addressed this ahead of the election. It's like they were just like prepping themselves, right? Just in case. And I think Rosie's doing her part to help them as well. But I think it's over, and it's not because of Trump. It's because of them and the product that nobody wants to be associated with and nobody wants to watch anymore. Here we go. Take a look at them fretting that they were going to lose their gigs ahead of the election.
So you said recently that you thought that you, as an outspoken critic, could be a target yourself. Some people think that sounds overdramatic, but I'm right there with you. I think that he is so vindictive that he will go after, however he has to, through the IRS maybe, or even, through sponsors to get us off the air maybe, or you. Yeah. How seriously should we be taking that?
Well, so I was asked, am I worried about me? And my answer was, I'm worried about all of us. I'm no more worried about me than I am worried about everybody in the country. I think it's bad to have somebody saying, give me as much power as you can in this country so I can use it to go after other Americans. So I can use it to go after these subhuman internal enemies, and I'll destroy them. Like, that's just not a good system for anybody. And I don't think anybody's safe if that's the sort of basis on which he wants to get more power.
Well, remember when Nixon had an enemies list? That was a proud moment for a lot of people if they were on the enemies list. Maybe we need to turn it around like that.
Well, I think that if he decides that he's going to go after you or me or anybody who's well known, we have resources. We'll likely be fine. But I think there's a pattern where he picks out individual people and effectively terrorizes them.
But
I mean, there's Stormy Daniels wearing a bulletproof vest to get into
it's ridiculous.
The courthouse, right?
Once you have political violence, you have fascism following that.
Look, I mean, they were trying to grease the wheels, so to speak, because they knew what was coming eventually. But it's kind of a dying industry. I mean, network television itself, I see one of you guys saying, well, what about outnumbered? Look, Fox is also, I mean, they're definitely the big kahuna of the cable bunch right now, and they've done better than the others. But when you look at their numbers, they're not great either. So it's the reality of where we are. I think people are switching because you have this sort of big menu that you can choose from. And hopefully you're choosing here and you're subscribing and sharing. Make sure you hit the like button. But you have this opportunity to get more news in new places and more opinion in new places. For example, on Spotify where I am, or on YouTube Live where I am right now. I mean, this is a whole new market, right? So you can be more selective. You can go out and find more perspectives, and you don't have to listen to whatever they're dishing up, right, in network television. And so all of this is coming at a time of massive upheaval for the industry. Rachel Maddow now, I'm hearing, is probably not long for the new Versant, which is the spinoff of the cable properties from Comcast. If we are to believe that she's really making $25 million a year for one show a week, that's not going to fly, because that show in and of itself is not earning its keep. So why do you continue to have her there, right? Just because you want her on a billboard somewhere? Those days are kind of over. Cable television is not what it once was. You know, granted, it can continue in some ways to print money, provided you run the costs really low. So as long as you can squeeze some profitability out of the place, then maybe you'll be fine. But if you're paying $25 million for this lady, not going to happen.
Listen, you can narrow or widen the aperture as much as you want. You can look at the very big picture or the small local picture anywhere in the country. And we try to do as much of both of those things as we can every week here on this show. But whether you're looking at small-scale local stories or the biggest picture stories about what's happening in our country, the story is the same, and it is now an undeniable thing. We have crossed a line. We are in a place we did not want to be, but we are there. The thing we were all warning about for the last few years is not coming, it is here. We are in it. This is what it likes, it turns out. This is what it's like, right? I mean, it's August, it's a Monday, every day the sun rises and the sun sets, and there are, sports and movies, and there are new hit songs, there are scandals here and there are crimes. There's everybody's personal quotient of family drama and health worries and money worries and falling in and out of love and in and out of faith.
Getting dramatic.
Life has not stopped, and none of our personal lives have stopped. But also, at the same time, life in the United States is profoundly changing, is profoundly different than it was even 6 months ago. Because we do now live in a country that has an authoritarian leader in charge.
Ba-dum-bum.
We have a consolidating dictatorship in our country.
Because of DC.
And it sounds melodramatic to say it, I know. But just go with that for a minute, right? Think in melodramatic terms. Think in cinematic terms. Imagine the cartoon-level caricature of what you think a dictatorship looks like.
Gosh.
I mean, it's secret police, right? A massive, anonymous, unbadged, literally masked, totally unaccountable internal police force that apparently has infinite funding, but no identifiable leadership. And they act in ways designed to instill maximum fear and use maximum force. I mean, when you imagine an authoritarian country, right, what you imagine is masked secret police breaking people's car windows and snatching people off the streets and out of church parking lots and courtroom hallways and taking them away with no charges, no notice, no paperwork, no explanation, not letting them see lawyers, and then moving them secretly to what are effectively black site prisons, where they won't tell you who's there and where no one's allowed in to see what's going on. Right? And that kind of a cartoon caricature of an authoritarian country, the one you might have imagined in melodramatic and cinematic terms ever before we got here, you would expect, right, that you'd have a scapegoated minority group blamed for all things.
Okay, you get where she's going, and I'm not going to torture you by making you listen to the whole thing, but she had this complete meltdown, right, the other night on her one show a week that she does on MSNBC. And I just want to point out, when she's talking about this manipulation of the truth, can we figure out what she actually did? Somebody posted this on X, and it's fantastic because this was the ultimate manipulation, and we had to deal with it, frankly, for years. Well, I think her time's up.
The bottom line of this dossier, the bottom line allegation, the point of it is that the Trump campaign didn't just benefit from Russia interfering in our presidential campaign. The point of this is they colluded, they helped, they were in on it. This is kind of a real story. The connections between the Trump servers and the Alpha Bank servers were real. They were covert communications that someone was trying to hide, that the Trump organization and Alpha Bank appear to have been trying to hide. Now we know that the vaccines work well enough that the virus stops with every vaccinated person. A vaccinated person gets exposed to the virus does not infect them. The virus cannot then use that person to go anywhere else. It cannot use a vaccinated person as a host to go get more people. We and other news organizations have generally stopped giving an unfiltered live platform to remarks by former President Trump. It is not out of spite. It is not a decision that we relish. It is a decision that we regularly revisit. And honestly, earnestly, it is not an easy decision, but there is a cost to us as a news organization of knowingly broadcasting untrue things. And that is a fundamental truth of our business and who we are.
Wow. I mean, the brazen lies, the rabbit holes that she took us, I'm kind of going to miss it, you know? I mean, it's entertaining, if nothing else. Right, guys? It just hit me. Is she wearing black in every single one of those? I think she might be, or at least every Monday she wears black, because I was like, wait, which Monday is this? The woman wears the same outfit all the time. She's got her little uniform with a black suit. You know what I think. Look, it's over for poor Rachel, but, you know, she'll go on to do something else. It's not all bad on the other side. I mean, look at what we've been able to do here, right, at the Trish Regan show. And I thank you guys for all that, for all your support, because we're climbing steadily towards 1 million. It's really actually sort of amazing. And when I look at these numbers in cable TV, which are lousy, I think, gosh, you know, we've been able to do more than they're doing on any given day. Take a peek, okay? These are the average viewers tuning in. I mean, 359,000. We're doing upwards of 1 million here on the channel every single day. We've got 562,000. We're beating MSNBC just on the little old Trish Regan show right here, right now. These are pretty shockingly bad numbers. And I think that the real number you need to focus on here, somebody just brought up Fox in the chat a little bit earlier, is what we're seeing from Fox, down 16%, and respectively in the demo, down 41% just in the last week. So this is bad stuff, right? It really shows you the direction of cable news, which is down, down, down. And I don't think that's going to change. I mean, the reality is you can save a ton of money by cutting the cord. And a lot of people have, and you get a little more authenticity. I mean, hey, John Lyons, you even get to see me put the lipstick on live TV. I would have done this in a commercial break. But we don't have the same kind of commercial breaks here in the podcasting world, live right now. So you're here for all of it, really, the good, the bad, the ugly, including when we lose the signal, etc. True Detective asking if we're going to hear about LaMonica facing any justice soon. I did read, and maybe we can talk about this some more. I did read this morning that she went out and did some kind of event, you know, fundraising, because she has to fundraise to pay her legal bills and to try and elevate her status. I don't see AOC trying to help her. I don't really even see Jasmine Crockett trying to help her. Anyway, she's out doing the speaking round, trying to raise money, saying, oh, you know, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm this, I'm that, and they're going to send me away for 17 years. You better believe it. They're going to send you away for 17 years because you can't do what you did. I don't think she'll get the full 17 years, honestly. I think she'll get some other kind of settlement, but she still is in serious trouble. So we can get into that, John the Detective, on tomorrow's program, because I think that's worth at least scoping out. It's my understanding that she continues to actually pay visits unannounced to these prisons, even though you're supposed to give them a 7-day notice, because, you know, she's LaMonica and she thinks she can. Reminder, go over to 76 Research, my firm, use code word dollar, make sure you're investing for your future. I created this for you guys, along with this show that I created for you. Please make sure you subscribe. I think the button is right down there. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. I will be back here live again with you tomorrow. See you then.